How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hope you guys having a great and exceptional day. Sorry, I'm still a little congested from allergy season. Weather flip-flops has been flip-flopping more than a politician here in the DMV area. But anyways, hopefully everybody's doing good. You know, hopefully everybody's having a great and exceptional evening. There's my music at. All right, so this is the 24th version of today's forecast for all gonna die. And if you don't know, because luckily lately I've been getting a lot more subscribers. It's basically where I mock the media. If you've seen my content before, you know that I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I don't do politics, I do economics. So I keep it simple. All right, so whatever side you're on, if you like me, if you're not on any side, that's cool too. Do what you do here, because I made fun of all presidents and administrations since, you know, whenever they come into office, because there's no such thing as a perfect presidency or administration. But right now we are in some interesting times, and today's forecast, we're all gonna die. I can mock this time that we're in now because I remember 2007 and 8. You know, I was still in my 20s back then. I was just really getting my foot into the world of government contracting. And I used to slug. If you're from the DMV area, you know what slugging is. I don't know if they do it in Maryland, but I know they do it in Northern Virginia, where from Fredericksburg to Stafford County to Woodbridge, Virginia, and Fairfax County, Virginia, people go to a commuter lot. They stand in line. It's basically legal hitchhiking. Now, back in my day, because I'm 42 years old now. So back in my day, we have is known as easy pass lanes, where you have to pay to get into the easy pass lanes, for the most part, meaning you don't have to be on the main highway, meaning that you don't have to drive through traffic. You can just get a straight shot to where you're going. It saves you a lot of time. So back in my day, in 2007 to 10 time frame, it was called the HOV lane, so it was free to get in. Now, during a certain time frame, you had to have at least 3 people in the lanes in order for you to drive in the lanes. If not, you'd have a nice, beautiful $1,000 to $2,000 fine, and possibly some tickets put on your driving record. The state of Virginia, where I'm from, they don't play when it comes to your driver's license. They definitely let you know that it is a privilege and not a right, and they will snatch it away from you if you act a fool compared to other states. All right. Fast forward to 2012. They finally opened up the first HOV lanes on another highway known as 495, which goes through Tyson's Corner, and they take you into Maryland. That was the first schedule of the HOV lanes, and 495 needed it desperately because a lot of people work in Tyson's Corner and the surrounding areas off of 495 in Northern Virginia. All right, so I believe it was, if it wasn't I think it was 2014, 2015 when they opened up the HOV lanes on actual I-95. So with that being said, meaning that you had the HOV lanes, the easy pass lanes on I-95. So it went from, now you can drive in the easy pass lanes if you have a specific easy pass and you have 3 passengers. So it didn't kill the whole art of slugging and whatnot. So therefore, if you have 3 people in your car, you can switch to easy pass and you're not going to get charged for driving in the easy pass. But if you're driving by yourself solo, like I do, because I'm not going to pick up any slugs, you can get into the easy pass and you pay. And lately, this last week, I've been trying to avoid paying because the cost of living has gotten atrocious. The moral of the story, as I'm telling the story at the end of the day, is that the cost of living has gotten so crazy that your everyday work, worry about money, like people like me, people like me that make a decent living. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just gonna walk with me here. That make a decent living, that doesn't have children, because children, nothing wrong with having children, but children cost money, just like anything else. Doesn't have a car payment. Car payments nowadays, I think, would be considered a low car payment in today's world is $700 a month. A lot of people's car payments are $1,000 plus a month. Student loan debts, which are basically designed for you to pay until the day you die, specifically with the interest rates that you get with student loan debts. I have none of those things. And this is 2025 is the first year that I'm actually clipping coupons no matter what store I'm going to, and ensuring that whenever I swipe my card, I'm either going to get air miles, points, or cashback rewards, i.e. utilizing credit cards and never my debit card. Because the cost of everything has gotten egregious. Trump tariffs, whether you're for them or against them, are slowly but surely allowing certain products to go up. And if they are fully implemented, more products will go up, because there's a trade war going on between us and China. Like I said, I'm not here to take sides here. I'm just talking about your everyday working person, how this is going to be affecting them. You want to argue in the comment section on what side you're on, be that loser and be my guest. I don't argue with people on the internet. And the only time you're going to see me argue with anybody on the internet is going to be over some money. Okay, so that's what losers do. They argue, and I will say that's what losers do. You argue online over things that have nothing to do with making money or making yourself better. Some people just want to argue online for the sake of arguing online. That's not my business. Do what you do. I'm never going to do that. Life's too short. As soon as I see stupid comments in the comment section, all I do is I just block them or delete them. It's not that serious. So 2025, I had beautiful plans to possibly go to Europe. That might not happen just because as expensive as things have gotten right now. I have to take other things into consideration. So taking smaller domestic trips, because I'm a person that likes, the only fancy thing I like to do is get on the airplane and get off the East Coast. These are things that are going to have to get put on the back burner for this year, because we got to, there's so much uncertainty. A lot of corporations are holding back because of so much uncertainty that's taking place right now. We're living in the times of straight up uncertainty. I brought up 2007 and 8 because, to get back to my point, is because back then there was a massive job losses. Lots of companies went out of business. The government had to step in, and this was voted unanimously by Democrats and Republicans at the time for stimulus packages for corporations, and to hand out stimulus checks for everyday regular working people, so people could start spending that money to help, quote unquote, stimulate the economy, even though most people, just like during the pandemic, they ended up just paying bills. So it stabilizes the economy. It doesn't really stimulate the economy that much, because I will say though, during the pandemic, because people got multiple stimulus checks, and a lot of people who had children got multiple stimulus checks on a monthly basis. That was definitely a continuously aspect of stimulating the economy from 2020 to 2022, I believe. So, at the end of the day, the main reason why I'm talking about this right now is because that's the times we're living in right now. And now people are trying to hold on to their money as much as possible, because a lot more people are living more paycheck to paycheck. People's fear of them losing their jobs right now, knowing that it will cripple them. The opportunity of it crippling them is very, very high compared to most. Okay, and that's another sad thing to take into consideration. But the possibilities are becoming higher and higher, whether you work in the public sector or you working in the private sector. And the thing is, it's officially spring, summertime underway. A lot of companies filing for bankruptcy. Restaurants closing down. I mean, even had public clearancing house actually filed for bankruptcy. Now, obviously, when a company files for bankruptcy, it's not 100% chance that they are going to go out of business. No, it just means that the chances of them going out of business is much higher because their debt exceeds their profit margins. All right, and they need to be put on basically a plan to put it, be able to consolidate their debt and pay it off. And that means that the way that the company is going to be operating in the future is going to be way, way different than normal. So that's just something to take into consideration. But the chances of people losing their job is just very, very much higher. The video I made earlier on Facebook talking about, people supporting their family, being with their family, the family operating like a corporation. I mean, that's serious. It's more and more serious today than it ever has been before. And one thing I will say with all sincerity is that this is why you cannot afford to be around people that have nothing to do with your future. You cannot afford to be around people that are not about making moves. You can't be around people that are not good for you. You can't be around people that bring around nothing but drama. That's just straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you do that, you're wasting your time straight up and down. You're wasting your time straight up and down. But yeah, so and you shouldn't do that, because you can't afford to do that. That's the thing. At the end of the day, because it's like a great example, like the people had a going away party for a good friend of mine / coworker of mine on Friday, and usually, like I said, I don't hang out like that in the DMV anymore. Not too comfortable. It was a good setting. It was a good time. It was a good night. But the good thing about the people I was around is they not only were fun to be around, but they're very intelligent people. They were very intelligent people. And they were about their business, and I like that. And it's like, and I implore everybody to continuously connect with the right people, because all the degrees in the world, it's like Dr. Claude Anderson would say, you have all these people with master's degrees, but yet they've mastered nothing. Excuse me. And it amazes me in 2025 the amount of restaurant chains that are actually going out of business that I grew up with. I mean, we're talking now, so great example, Boston Market, TGI Fridays, Denny's, Applebee's, Red Lobster, BurgerFi, Hooters, Wendy's, Cracker Barrel, Hardee's, Mod Pizza, Outback Steakhouse, dang, I didn't even realize Outback, PDQ Restaurant, Steak and Shake, Tijuana Flats, Official All-Star Cafe, Busca de Beppo Italian Restaurant, Fuddruckers, IHOP, KFC, Ruby Tuesday, Showbiz Pizza Place, Vita Nova Brands. It's just insane. You know what I mean? When I think about all these restaurants. Now, Ruby Tuesday is the last time I was there, and I was there on a date. It was garbage. The service was horrible. The food was horrible, and the food was overpriced. Okay? It was just terrible. Okay? That's all I could say. Now, KFC, a lot of these places aren't all officially going out of business, but a lot of them are closing down a lot of the restaurants. And the thing is, it's just like you see a lot of malls closing. Because, and we were talking about this on Friday, because we were at a place called Springfield Mall in Northern Virginia and my mother was there, and it was like back when I was a kid, like the malls, and when I was a kid, it was the 1990s. Malls were the spots to go to, man. Let me tell you, malls were the places to be at. Okay, I mean, if you were an adult, you had all the best restaurants, the best clothing stores to go to. If you was a kid, you would see some live entertainment, candy shops, cookie shops, arcades, little toy stores. Malls were the places to be at, But we're so indulged in the digital world nowadays, that malls are just not necessary like they used to be. People don't get out as much as they used to. And especially in 2025, people are trying not to get out as much as they used to. The only real reason why I was out Friday, because like I said, it was a co-worker / good friend of mine who is in the military. God bless the soldiers. I mean, God bless all military personnel, current and previous, current and prior service members. And he's going to deploy overseas. So it was a nice send-off. But outside of that, today and yesterday, I was outside to run errands, but I was definitely not outside to have a good time because it's too expensive outside. And I was watching and I'm going to shout his channel out because he puts out good content, and I feel like I'm just getting started with my content right now. It's taken me a while to find my voice in this content space, but I feel like I found it. And for those who like it, like it. For those who don't, they don't. It is what it is. Between me putting up my videos, putting up shorts, and going live at least once a month, let me shout out Michael Bordenato. I've been watching his content probably the last 2 years. He's based out of Florida. But Michael Bordenato puts out great content, and he just, puts out like 15, 25-minute videos here and there. But he was just talking about, the title was "The Cost of Living in America is Making People Give Up." And I say people should not give up, but I understand why if one would. Because this is really the time. Like I said, even I'm rethinking on taking certain trips have already been booked, but I'm not planning on booking any other trips anytime soon unless I got the miles or unless it's to go to Europe. Because, and here's a funny thing, in 2025, and once again, I told you my background in regards to I make money online, I make money via rental properties, and I make money via my job. Not bragging, that's just what it is. All right, so, and I told you I don't have the usual financial burdens that most people have, or financial, let me not call them burdens. Financial responsibilities. Children are not a financial burden. Children are a financial responsibility. I should never ever say that about a child. I'm not even a parent, but I definitely can correct myself when I feel like I'm out of line. So children are not a financial burden. They are a financial responsibility. Having a car is not a financial burden. It is a financial responsibility. Student loans can be looked upon as a financial burden, but they are a financial responsibility because you have an obligation to pay that money back. It is what it is. If you get student loan forgiveness, good for you. If you serve the military and deserve to get access to educational funding, then good for you as well. Let's call it what it is at the end of the day. Okay? Let's call it what it is. But anyways, and the moral of the story is 2025 is a time for your everyday working people to not only try to cut down on your spending as much as possible, but vacations should be, you take and this is coming from a guy, I feel like a hypocrite, but I'm not. Vacations, you take one vacation this summer and you drive to the location that you're going to. Don't get a rental car, get an Airbnb, get a hotel, whatever the case may be. Do not get on the airplane and pay that money for the ticket. Go to a 2 to 3 hour destination. Because it's time, right now it's time for the six-figure people to start living like the people who make between $30,000 and $60,000. Okay? It's the stack your chips season right now. Stack your chips. If you can still afford to buy assets, I'm not giving out financial advice because I will still buy the dip. Because if I had this financial information that I have in 2025, if I had this back in 2007 to 8, my life financially would be very different right now. If I was surrounded by people who were talking about how to buy and trade stocks in 2007, between 2007 and 2012, talking about that, buying rental properties, opening up a business, I only had one person talking to me like that, and I looked at them like they were a ghost. And I wish I could have had more time. I don't remember this man's name. Hopefully he's still alive. He was definitely my elder. He He might have been older than my mother at the time, but he was definitely my elder. But he was a chauffeur at Boeing, the aviation company Boeing in Bristol City, Virginia. He lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, efficiency apartment in DC at the time. This is when DC was starting the gentrification. So it was a good time to live in DC because it was actually cheaper to live in Washington, DC back in 2007-8 timeframe compared to 2025. And he owned real estate. He told me, he was like, yeah, I own real estate in the South. I own real estate in the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. I own rental properties. And he's like, I'm trying to own enough rental properties to retire and just live off my assets. I'm 23, 24 years old. I don't even know what the hell this man is talking about. I couldn't even, because I didn't own a house at the time. I was still living with my mother at the time. But that goes back to the family. I was able to save my money. I didn't have a bunch of kids and baby mama drama. I didn't have no student loan debts. Didn't even have a car payment. I'm 42 years old, still ain't never had a car payment. Okay. And I'm proud of myself on that one because the idea of paying $800 to $1,500 a month, $800 to $1,300 a month for a car, this doesn't sit right with me right now. Okay. So I just got to keep it real when I say that. I just got to keep it real when I say that. But yeah, it's like, it's ironic because and I was having this conversation with this man at my part-time job because back then I was working between 2 to 3 jobs and people used to look at me like I was crazy. It was like, well, you don't have any kids? I said, no. You're not in college? I said, no. You don't have any student loan debts? I was like, no. And they was like, car payment? I said, no. It's like, then why are you working 2 to 3 jobs? I said, because I'm trying to save my money and get my money right. I went to school later, but I wanted to get my money right. Then I utilized, the way I even established credit was getting a credit card and basically taking 1 or 2 classes per semester and then just paying the credit card off and then utilizing tuition reimbursement for the companies that I worked for back then. I'm saying all this because financially, I was prepared for the economic storm that took place in 2007 to 8. 2025, I'm prepared for the economic storm that is taking place right now. Not because I think I'm better than people, not because I'm stinking rich, but I've always looked at money as one of the most serious thing. I look at money as serious as breathing air and drinking water and trying to be as healthy as possible. That's how I view money. I've never, and I think I never will, view money as something to brag on, to think I'm better than anybody else, and I leave it at that. I've always looked at money like, hey, how can I make it? How can I save it? How can I invest it? Period. And then if I want to have some fun later, then cool. Because I had one person said, well, you like to post that picture every time you travel, not big on what you're doing. I'm like, meet me at the airport. I say that because for a long time, I thought that there was something wrong with me in regards to like to get out, get away, and do something different, not to see the same freaking thing all the time. But now I've learned at the age of 42 that most people are comfortable with being basic. Most people have, in a sense, a factory worker's mentality. Is there anything wrong with being a factory worker? No. But in 2025, the world is much different. See, look, back in my parents' and grandparents' day, most people, unless they joined the military, most regular everyday working people didn't really leave the United States of America. I'm talking about as far as America goes. They didn't really leave their city like that, and they darn sure didn't leave their state. And if they did, 9 times out of 10, they would leave their state and city to go visit family members. So the idea of them even staying in a hotel wasn't even that. It wasn't the norm for most regular working people because they couldn't even afford that. It was common for your everyday regular working people to stay at a family member's house because it saved them time and money. And then, like in certain countries, but back then in America, if you didn't stay at a family member's house, they considered that to be disrespectful. Like, rest in peace to my grandmothers. That's how they were. Rest in peace to my aunts. For better or for worse, that's how they were. Stay at my place, don't stay at a hotel. Why waste that money? So I get it. I get it straight up and down. But the point I was getting at the end of the day is that I think I kind of lost my point in regards to, but yeah, at the end of the day, the factory worker mindset was, hey, I'm going to work on this assembly line. I'm a blue collar worker. I'm a union worker. I build products, whatever the case may be. And I'm gonna raise my family. I'm gonna have I work for a company that actually provides me with a real pension and not a 401k plan. And I pay into this pension. I pay into Social Security, and I'm able to retire, having Medicaid and Medicare. I'm able to retire. My kids can go do the same thing. That was the mindset from the 1930s to the 1980s with most regular everyday working people. The 70s is where it slowly changed. The 80s had a 20 to 30% dramatic change, and then in the 90s it had 100% change of the way that things worked in the United States of America, from an agricultural society, from an industrial society to an information society, and now we are in the height of the AI society. Okay, you feel me? You feel me? Okay. And that's just what it is at the end of the day. And that's why I said it's like there's too many distractions out here that people and that people don't want to pay attention, unfortunately, what's going on, you know. And to be financially prepared. I talked to my brother from another mother last night about this, or Friday. No, it was yesterday. Thursday. Anyways, it was just last week. And he was like, you've been talking about this whole, people being prepared thing because you just never know. I said, brother, everybody's been so worried about flossing on other people, worried about what they look. I walk around Woodbridge, Virginia. Most people probably think I'm the brokest man on the planet because I have an old car. I have old cars. I wear regular clothes. Ain't nothing fancy about me. Maybe when I go to work, I wear some decent dress, casual clothes and whatnot. There's nothing fancy about me. But I've said this, and I'll say this to the day I die. If my bank accounts and my assets don't look better than my house and cars, then there's a freaking problem. I wasn't put here on this earth to impress people. You were not put here on this earth to impress people. Okay? You were born to shine how you was born to shine. I'm gonna keep it real and leave it at that. Okay? We're living in serious times. This is usually where I mock the media and whatnot, but we are in serious times right now. And a lot of people will not only lose their jobs, a lot of people are going to end up homeless. It's not funny. And regardless of who's in the White House, governor's house, and mayor's house, see what's happening now. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, if Kamala Harris is in office, the AI boom, it's inevitable. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to try to engage in it. The idea of I'm just going to live paycheck to paycheck and not worry about it because I got a good job and whatnot is a dying thing every day in this country. And the mindset of, hey, I got a good amount of access to capital. I have a significant amount of assets. I'm not just popping out babies like it's popcorn, like it's fun and whatnot. I'm not living, like I was talking about people living at home and whatnot. I said, well, because I know an individual who lives at home right now, but they scraping by, and they would probably be homeless or living in a homeless shelter if it wasn't for them being able to live at home because of the stupid decisions that individual made in life, i.e. popping out a bunch of babies, not thinking about the financial ramifications of it all. That's what I'm talking about. Like, this money thing is serious, man, because it deals with your livelihood. As I said, people make money because they want to floss on people. I make money because I want to be financially free. We not the same, fam. And I speak on that. And I stand on that. We're not the same. But that's all I have for tonight. I have a long day tomorrow, early day tomorrow, you know. But it's real. It's all real. It's all real. And no matter how you want to slice and dice it out here, it's going to get worse this year. You know, that's all I got to say. So either you're going to be ready or you're not. That's on you. You know, either you're going to be ready or you're not. That's on you. So do what you do. You know, hopefully everybody has a good week. You know, I'm in San Antonio. I'll see you when I see you. I'll be there this weekend. Looking forward to it. It's been a minute since I've been to San Antonio, but we gonna do what we do. That's why I'm doing this video now. Like I said, much more travel ahead. Much more travel ahead, so looking forward to it. Much more willing to deal in ahead, looking forward to it. But, you know, that's what makes life worth living. You know, work hard, play hard, but get around the right people, man. I really can't stress that enough, man. Get around the right people. Stay away from the wrong people. Because these hard times are going to prove who your real friends and family are. And it's going to prove who you are at the same time. You know, who's there for you, who wants to be there for you, etc. and so forth. It's real. Okay, it's real. As they say, it's real in the field. And the field is the economic field. Are you ready? You know, that's all I can say. So, on that note, family, do the great thiefy things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great night. As they say, make money moves so you can live right like fools. As they say in Spanish. Bienvenido a la vida. Welcome to the life. You know, get out and enjoy your life. You know, today was a beautiful day. The weather was nice. You know, I'm not 100%, but I'm still pushing through. You know, but I just implore everybody out here to, you know, don't make light of what you have. Appreciate what you have, man. Appreciate the family that's still in your life, the ones that matter. Appreciate the people who you call friends, the ones that matter. Because that, like I said, with people, that's just becoming far and few in between nowadays, you know. And that's just real talk. Mine started off really real busy. Okay, but I'm just gonna smile, man. It's like whatever. I'm not gonna let nobody, you know, take my shine. Somebody sent me something about my dog Max. That's my crazy dog Max all day, every day. Ha! You know, that's why I said it's like if you see me smiling more, that's just because I want to enjoy my life. You know, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You see me smiling more because I'm trying to enjoy my life. You know, don't hate on that. You know, I keep it simple. You know, and anybody, you know, it's like I said, stay the hell away from people that want to suck the joy out of your life. Okay, stay the hell away from people like that. You know, because they're not worth it. You know, and I always say, yeah, work hard, play hard, but really, man, just you still got to enjoy it, even if it's just you doing a Netflix and chill situation. Because, like I said, going back to work full time has taken its toll on me. But I will say at the end of the day that I'm learning to just relax and just take a chill, you know, because our health is our wealth and nobody wants to overdo themselves. You know, straight up and down. Yeah, well, all that extra stuff that'll really wear you out and be ready to have you wanting to hang out. I mean, sleep for an extra 5 hours. Yeah, my boy, I'm going to see down in San Antonio. He had a little bit too much fun this weekend. So I usually don't do multitasking while I'm live online, but you know what the hell with it. This has been an edition of today's forecast. We're all going to die. The 24th edition. It's real out here. No matter what side you are, remember, man, politicians don't care about regular working people. Once that vote is cast, you don't mean nothing to them. I can't really put it any other way, but if you want to believe otherwise, that's your life. That's the thing. I think grown people need to stop arguing with other grown people that they disagree with, unless that disagreement has something to do with money. Political rallies, waste of time. Arguing over politics, biggest waste of time in 2025 for regular working people. But I can say anything I admire about people who are immigrants here who cannot legally vote, whether they're here illegally or legally, but they're here like as a resident, workers visa, whatever. They about their money, and they about that paper, and they about obtaining skill sets and assets that's going to ensure that continues and increases all at the same time. And I implore every everyday working American from Wyoming to Mississippi to New York to California, DC to Washington State to Colorado to Missouri to Montana to Illinois to Indiana to Texas to New Mexico to Louisiana. Be about your money, be about your paper, be about your family, be about your true friends. Keep it simple. On that note, I'm out. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc., and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc., and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and etc., and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching. And hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel, as you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer. Because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves, but for our families. And having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. with a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from Larry's Anything Goes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out Larry's Anything Goes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day.
Mike, now.